Hello, it's Rosa here at the Rosa String Works workshop, and got a mandolin shipped in from North Dakota today, and it's a real nice looking mandolin. It's a Kentucky. It's a KM1500. The customer paid someone to set it up basically, and was not happy with the setup, and I guess trying to keep peace in whatever group he was in there, he didn't want to stir up anything, so he decided to send it to me to have it set up again. I can definitely improve this one. It's not real bad. It just wasn't done as well as it could have been done. I haven't really given it much of a look over, so we'll kind of do that together here and see how it looks. You can see it's a nice looking mandolin. It's a Kentucky KM1500 is what the number says inside, and you know, here's what it looks like. It's got a very slight radius to the fretboard, but very slight, and he's had the tang here beveled down to give him some pick clearance, which I like. I think that's a good thing. Looking down the fretboard, I can see it's pretty good. It doesn't look too terribly bad. There's a little bit of a hump in it, not too bad though. But the biggest problem is, and what he was complaining about the most, is that this side is jacked up and this side is put all the way down. The treble side's all the way down, this side's jacked up. Well, that doesn't really hurt anything, assuming that the action is correct through here and all that, and that we're not getting any buzzes. But basically, they've got the treble side jacked down so low that it just buzzes, period. Doesn't even play. You can hear that. That doesn't sound very good, obviously. That's not, and that's just out of the box. I didn't change anything. That's really bad. Can't believe somebody would pass that off as a setup. Can you believe that? Well, you know, really the problem right off is the action's just way too low. I mean, it's so low it's ridiculous. I like them low, don't get me wrong. I like them about as low as anybody, but this is beyond low. It's crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pretend like nothing's even ever been done to this. I'm just going to take the strings off of it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to level the fretboard real good, recrown the frets. Then I will put the strings back on it and adjust the bridge the way I think it should be, and we'll see what we need to do after that. If you do still feel some pull, well then there's still a high spot. So basically you just go over that spot until you don't feel any more pull. And it works really good. It works the full length of the fretboard. It gets those humps out that are traditionally right here where the neck joins on. You can feel that hump just go away basically. You're just filing it out with the file. And see, now it's just gliding on there. It's just really, I don't even feel like it's not filing anything at this point. It's just sliding on there, just like a sled. Very smooth, and when you get to that point, you know you're done. Now, of course, that's just the leveling process that we'll have to go back through and recrown every fret, and I'll be using my recrowning tool here. Finished also recrowning the frets with the round over file. Now, here's how I do that. I don't try to make it completely perfectly round on the top. You know, I just spend all that time making sure they're all perfectly level. So, my goal is to just round the corners over so that you don't feel those sharp corners as you're sliding your fingers up and down the fretboard. I want to keep that slightly flat top perfectly level all the way. And the reason that you do that is that will allow you to set your action down real nice and low, and you've got that perfectly flat plane then. And when you put tension on the neck, you're going to have a slight underbow in there, which is what you want anyway. Now we will check that to make sure that there's not too much underbow or too much overbow. A lot of people think that just adjusting the truss rod is how you set your action and how you know, but it really isn't for that at all. I can show you in writing from Gibson, from Martin, that the truss rod is just there to adjust the amount of underbow in the neck, and that's all it's for. And so that's all we're looking at, is to have just a very slight amount of underbow in here, very slight amount. Now you can see up close here all the filings that are on there. I haven't dusted it off yet. You can see that I did remove quite a bit of fretch, you know, by leveling it like that. Now when I say quite a bit, we're not talking, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or anything. We're really talking thousandths of inches. So it's only removed down maybe a few thousandths of an inch that we've taken off of there, and those were just off of the high frets for the most part. We're at the point now where we've got the strings lightly put back on there. I did do one more thing about the stringing. I've mentioned in videos before that I really like to see the string winding down the post, not up the post. There's a couple of reasons for that, and I could be splitting hairs and I could be making more out of it than there is to it, but I firmly believe that they should go down the post, and here's the reason why. It creates a greater angle from the post to the nut, which makes it pull down tighter on the nut, which is a good thing. And it also, and more importantly, in my opinion, is it changes the way the lever works. On that post, if you've got the string way up here at the top, you've got a big lever pulling on that post. If you got the string down here, the leverage is decreased considerably. So anyway, I think it, you know, keeps from wearing out the ferrules and the posts and all that thing over the long haul. You know, and again, I could be making more out of that than there is to it, but I firmly believe in that, so I always change it. There was about 4 of them that were going up the post, and so I moved them all so that they're going down the post. Okay, I haven't tried to set intonation. I haven't tried to tune it yet or anything. I just literally put the strings back on it. I can already tell just by visual inspection, I did raise the bridge a little bit to just visually where I think it looks pretty good. And I can just tell by that the nut up here is going to be high. These are really high off of the first fret, or at least some of them are. So once I tune it up a little bit and get the intonation fairly close, then we're going to look at this, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be cutting this lower up here. Okay, I set the intonation on the mandolin and got it pretty darn close. The bridge is at a slight angle going down on this side. That's a little unusual that this side is a little further down than this side is, but that's exactly where this one needs to be. I've tested it and retested it. Now, as I suspected, this is a pretty darn thick pick that I use, that sometimes use as a gauge. It's probably a little over 1 millimeter, and it slides easily under the first fret and barely lifts the string at all. So that is crazy high in my opinion. So the customer is going to really enjoy how well this is going to play if he's been used to playing it like this. And I don't have it in full tune at the moment. I just put tension on it because I knew I was going to be taking it down again because of this up here. I could tell that was way high. So I'm going to do some work on this, do a little magic here, and I'll bring you back and let you see how it sounds. I believe we've got this thing wrapped up. Just show you what I've done. I really cut the nut way down. I mean way down. I couldn't believe how much I had to lower these up here to get it to play good. And then I filed the top of the nut down so that the strings are not, you know, they're just about halfway down in the groove, or whatever you want to refer to that as. And I raised this in quite a bit. Here's a general rule of thumb, although you really can't go by this on every mandolin, but a general rule of thumb, at least in concept, is you want to play it as low as you can get it up here without buzzing, and as high as you can stand to play it back here without buzzing. Now, that depends, here's the caveat, it really depends on what the angle of the neck is. If the neck angle is really severe already, well then this is going to be, you know, crazy high already. So on this neck, the angle is, if anything, it's probably a hair low. It's not, I wouldn't call it low, but it's a little low. So basically what you want to do is you want to raise your bridge up, to the point where it's still comfortable to play, but just at that level. You know, in other words, you want to get it up pretty much as high as you can stand to play the thing back at this end. That puts more tension on your top, puts more tension on your bridge and saddle. It puts more vibration into the top when you do that. And but then you know, you want it as low as you can stand, you know, get it to play up here without buzzing, so it's just easy to play. And to be perfectly honest with you, this one's pretty low all the way. I mean, there's the 7th fret, and there's a 1.1 millimeter pick, and that's the 7th fret, and it's holding the pick at the 7th fret. So that's kind of my overall gauge there. If it'll, you can tell now it's got some punch. It's got a good sound, and I don't think you could set one up pretty much any better than the way this one's set up at the moment. I was thinking about just covering up this little mistake and not showing it on video, but I am human after all, and I do make mistakes occasionally. This is not exactly what you call a physical mistake. It was more of just a stupid mistake. I didn't see the letter in the case from Emmett Marshall. I had somebody in the shop when I opened the case. That's my excuse. And he had a lot of packing material in there, and the letter just didn't pop out to me at the beginning. Anyway, he asked me to put on his other tailpiece and his other bridge, and so I did do that. I took it back apart. That only took a few seconds. I mean, literally, it needed it anyway, in my opinion, because the strings had been up and down so many times during my setup that it needed a new set of strings. So he had a new set of strings in there, and so anyway, I put all the new set of strings on there, and I put the new tailpiece on there, which is a real nice tailpiece, and it's got his name on it, and I also put the different bridge on it that he asked to be put on there, and set the intonation back up and played it again, and doing really good. So it's really nice. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this one. Please subscribe for more, tell your friends about my channel, and click the thumbs up button if you don't mind. Thank you very much for watching.